Quick word firstly on the recent cap raise. We've put out a clarification as far as the settlement date. Just tell us a bit more on this.
Yeah, it's a bit of a storm in a teacup. Settlement was always going to be the 16th of December. But as these deals often are, it was done at high speed. It was signed off late on Sunday night. Everyone a bit bleary-eyed. And between us all, we all missed the date. The clarification announcement out yesterday was the clarification of what was always meant to be the case after all.
And we've also put out some options here for directors and management, two targets outside of the recent 52-week trading range, zero point 0.5, 0.75. What's the rationale for these levels?
I mean, I just think it's about trying to be sensible. So the theory behind options is we cancelled the options that the existing options when we joined the board. I think everybody felt that they were unrealistic. Well, I think when they were set, they were perhaps unrealistic. And I've seen this over the years in markets where people put, really punchy sort of option targets in place and they've, very rarely or ever get hit. And I don't know if the motivation's there then. So I think for Nick and I, and the rest of the board, it's a case of these are realistic, achievable. We would probably need to see the market cap of this company trading 10, 15 million pound valuation. And given where it was at sub two when we joined, we think that's sufficient achievement for us to be rewarded. Those options should have only been awarded and should only ever be awarded at the end of a period where you've been able to demonstrate that you've created shareholder value. And I mean that by the virtue of not just the share price, but the development of your assets as well. So options are coming after the event, and in the wake of what's been an interesting year and a very exciting future.
The value of the options would be between 10 and 15 million pounds. So that's the zero point 0.5 to 0.75. That's around about a 5 to 8 times increase on the market cap since we joined. I'm probably beginning to sound a bit defensive, but the purpose of the options was to demonstrate that we have a great deal of ambition and a great deal of confidence in how we think this company is going to perform. Yet Mike said himself, it's a very interesting year. We've achieved a great deal. We've got an opportunity to do some pretty exciting things next year, including maybe starting production in Blue Mountain. And so the purpose of the options is to demonstrate to investors, to shareholders, that we believe in what we're doing and we're confident that we can take this company forward.
And so ideally, in terms of development of these assets and moving that share price, Mike, upcoming plans here for Blue Mountain?
Yeah, we're already sort of underway with modelling and looking at what's required for us to get that asset into production at the earliest availability. I had a chat only this morning with Adam Jones. I've recently spoke with Mike Parker. We've had some communication with the landowner, and we understand what's needed from the mines department as well and licensing. We're in an incredibly strong position. The financial benefits of being able to have recapitalised the company are there to be seen. We can accelerate. We said we would move things forward quickly, and that's our intention to do so. So, yeah, things are looking really, really promising. Lots going on behind the scenes. Of course, we've got some operational updates expected imminently from Tambo. And again, I'm talking to the technical guys here about Blue Mountain, and we're sort of being reminded not to take the eye off the ball at what's coming from Tambo. So really, really, exciting period for us, and we hope that investors and shareholders share the same enthusiasm we've got for the company and understand that the options that have been awarded and the operations and our outlook are all in line and conducive with one another, and we fully expect to be able to generate sufficient interest and progress for all of these things to come into play together.
It's always worth reminding, Lolworth, it's a vast project. We'd like to see some juicy drill targets identified at this project also in the near term.
Yeah, I think we're there. I mean, I think those targets are being ranked as we speak. So again, this is not just about Victoria and Blue Mountain. Of course, we did an extensive amount of work both in 2023 and 24 campaign. We've got some ideas about what we'd like to be doing up there. Access has always been a bit of an issue. So there's a period of time where access is challenging. And now we're looking at, what sort of equipment is suited to get out into the field and start drilling as early as possible. So we're batting around a few ideas of, sort of a 4x4 mounted rig, that we can get in there and start sort of drilling maybe, 50-meter, 75-meter types of depth, punch some holes in where we think there's the best opportunity and see what those results look like. So whilst there's a, acute focus on Blue Mountain, and of course, the upcoming news at Tambo, we're working on many other things to go alongside it.
And quite timely also, we've had the China antimony export ban. That's put the spotlight back on those companies with exposure to the critical mineral.
I think it is. I mean, I think it's at world events beginning to point in favour of a number of primary metal and mineral producers. I mean, this week it's about antimony. I think we're going to continue to see a number of pressure points on several metals and minerals. We're well positioned. We've got some pretty interesting prospects in Bayliston, obviously very interesting prospects in the gold tenements elsewhere. So I think watch the space. It's going to be a good year next year.
And Nick, look, we haven't, as part of this discussion here, talked about the ongoing sale of non-core assets, but those conversations continuing to advance.
Yeah, they absolutely are. In fact, I spent a bit of time today just working out my travel plans to go out to Australia. I'm planning to meet the prospective purchaser whilst I'm there next month. I'm also going to get up to Blue Mountain actually and meet the landowner. So I'll sort of cover a couple of things on that trip. But yeah, it's progressing well. It's a bespoke, it's a complex, it's a challenging transaction, but it's absolutely pointed in the right direction. And I think we're making very good progress.
Good to see you both. Thanks very much.
Cheers. Thanks.
Thanks.